Okay, sir, if I can just get you to tell me your first and your last name and spell those, please.
Sure. Lieutenant Colonel William Blanchard, B-L-A-N-C-H-A-R-D. I'm 40 years old, originally from Neptune, New Jersey, and our hometown paper is the Asbury Park Press.
Where were you last stationed?
My last assignment was in the ground shop of the G3 Division at Marine Forces Pacific Headquarters at Camp Smith, Hawaii.
And how long were you there?
I was there for 2 years.
What was it like to PCS out here?
It was a very easy move. Moving from Hawaii to California has been trouble-free, and the Marines and sailors here within the battalion and the division have been very welcoming and have made the transition all that much easier for me and my family, so I'm very appreciative to them for that.
Do you know anything about the history of third tracks?
I do. The battalion, formed in World War II, has served in nearly every campaign that the Marine Corps has fought in. World War II, Vietnam, Operation Desert Shield, Desert Storm, Iraq, and Afghanistan.
How well do you know the colonel that you will be replacing?
I've known Lieutenant Colonel Hall for well over 10 years. We've served together both as company commanders in 2nd Assault Amphibious Battalion, 2nd Marine Division, as well as we were on inspector instructor duty together in the 4th Assault Amphibious Battalion, 4th Marine Division.
And the last time you guys were stationed together, can you tell us anything about that? Like any cool experiences or fond memories?
You know, unfortunately, we were separated by geography. He was an I down in Tampa, Florida at our battalion headquarters, and I was with Alpha Company up in Norfolk, Virginia. But through the years, we've kept in touch. Lieutenant Colonel Hall is a tremendous officer and a tremendous man, incredibly intelligent. He's got that rare gift to have a vision of where he wants to go, to communicate it to the Marines that he works with, the sailors that he works with, and then to inspire and motivate them to work as hard as they can to achieve that vision.
Do you have any idols or anybody specifically that you try to model your own personal style of leadership towards?
I do. I've been very fortunate to have both senior enlisted and officers throughout my career who have motivated and inspired me and given me excellent examples of leadership styles, traits to emulate. Starting off as a brand new second lieutenant, my first two platoon sergeants, Master Sergeant Robert Ryder and then Sergeant Major Michael Giannichini, both of whom now are retired, had an indelible mark on my career in terms of what I'm supposed to do as an officer, both in the Amtrak community and just as an officer in general, you know, serving and leading Marines. On the officer side, battalion commanders that I've had in the past, Colonel Tom Holden, now retired. When I was a company commander, very demanding, very exacting, very precise, really helped refine some of my rougher points to really pay attention to those small details that help take better care of Marines. And then most recently, Colonel Matthew Bono, also retired, was my district commanding officer when I was a commanding officer of Marine Corps Recruiting Station St. Louis. Learning how to deal with the daily stress of the recruiting environment and how to take that energy and then translate it positively to your Marines so that they can focus on what they need to do and to manage a very wide, disparate, distributed organization, I think has set me up for success moving forward.
Do you have any big plans for third tracks as soon as you step on board?
When I got on board, I think the first thing that I need to do is really get to learn the battalion and the Marines and sailors and civilians who make up the battalion. Lieutenant Colonel Hall has done an outstanding job. I really want to maintain initially what he has achieved to this point. We've got a very high operational tempo supporting 1st Marine Division and one MEF with exercises as well as units to deploy forward to Okinawa and with the Muse. I want to make sure that I understand all those responsibilities fully and that we are preparing these Marines with every resource that we have to be successful when they go forward, and to have the confidence that when they're forward that their families and their loved ones back here are equally well taken care of and prepared for their separation. Aside from that, I'm ready to do and support the division with whatever it requires, either operationally or here in garrison for training, to answer the call.
Do you have anything specifically that you'd like to say to the Marines of Third Tracks or the Marines of the Marine Corps in general?
Absolutely. The first is just thank you. All of the Marines and sailors and civilians that we have today are all volunteers. They're here because they want to be here, and they do a tremendous job. They endure hard sacrifices A great toll is put on them physically, mentally, and emotionally, as well as their families, and yet they always rise to the occasion, they always answer the call, and they're all about mission accomplishment. And they do it with motivation, which has kept me in the Marine Corps for as long as I have. These young Marines are why I'm here, and I'm grateful to them for what they do and their service to our country.
What's next for Lieutenant Colonel Blanchard?
What's next for me, hopefully, is to have a very successful 2-year tour here as the commanding officer of 3rd Assault Amphibious Battalion. The focus is these next 2 years of command. These Marines deserve the best and most committed leadership that's out there, and that's what I intend to provide to them. For myself, my family, we're here to serve these Marines and lead the battalion, or continue to lead the battalion in the direction that it needs to go to be successful and also relevant for the Marine Corps. This unit and this MOS is a service-defining capability, and we need to make sure that we are ready at all times to answer whatever call is out there for AAV support.